He will sit and watch as Keyshawn George, the freshman from Switzerland, makes his first career collegiate start. And we are underway at the Watsco Center.
And here's Stonehill is going to be in the 3-2 zone that you'll see the entire night. They have been devastated by injuries.
Tony Felder misfires on his three-point attempt. He's a sophomore point guard from Brockton, Massachusetts. And there is tonight's starting five for the Canes. Matthew Cleveland, the Florida State transfer.
Well, they needed somebody to replace Jordan Miller, and with the athleticism and intensity and just the various versatile things that Cleveland can do, he really helps them.
Omier gets the paint touch, back outside. Still plenty of time on the timer. Cleveland's three is missed, but there to clean it up, Norchad Omier.
There were a couple of times, number one, Omier got in foul trouble, and that hurts him. They didn't rebound well. They turned it over. And those are issues that Jim Larrañaga addressed before the season, and they're still fighting them.
And their loss to Colorado earlier this month. As Poplar drains another three. He's got 6 early points, misfiring. Cleveland again. This time he finds the range.
The guy from Stonehill down, and Jim Larrañaga took him out of the game, and Omier gets a little frustrated when they take him out with his first foul. And you saw there Jim Larrañaga talking to him, and one way to do it, you can't foul when you're sitting next to your coach.
Nope, and Omier brings something that nobody else does on this Miami roster. Driving a bank shot by Stefan Triplett. Is it true that in games like this, when you've got a team from the Northeast Conference who clearly is overmatched on paper?
Well, that's the general formula, but you can't just rely totally on the three.
Wooga Poplar showing off the ups. And Science's charter, I'd say, made a good choice to go to hoops. Marcus Zagorowski, remember the former All-American at Creighton, who's playing overseas. And here's the taller twin, Max, with his first two.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful stroke for Keyshawn George.
3 of them, and George has 2 of them. But, again, we talked.
Mellis has a torn labrum, and Muser has foot surgery scheduled for next week. So when you go into a game like this, Dan, you know you need all.
They have a number of guys who have made 10 threes on the year. And they all shoot 40% or better, all the guys who've made 10.
Under 10 to shoot. Omier splits the double team, draws the foul, and has a chance for 3. 7. He's got a wingspan, though, of nearly 7 feet. As efficient on the low post as anybody in the ACC community in South Florida. So he's got a lot of support there when he was able to come home. And it's been nice to see as he's moved up a level, Dan, that he has not skipped a beat. He has been just as productive. Stinson, no.
I think Poplar blocked that one.
Lob, easy two for Matthew Cleveland. I had an interesting chat last year with Matthew Cleveland when he was a sophomore at Florida State. There's the bucket for the Skyhawks. I asked him, you know, when you have shooting trouble, Matt, what do you do to try and correct it? He said, first thing I do, has had a 4.0 GPA studying criminology. He was a C student until the 8th grade, until Matthew got serious about it with the guidance of his parents. A couple of threes. Cleveland's got 9. Omier with 10 points, 9 rebounds, almost has a double-double. Rebound cleared by the Canes. Here comes Miami looking for its 9th win of the season. George has a beautiful stroke. It is remarkable.
In 3-point shooting.
George is making his first career start in place of Nigel Pack. He's got 9 early points. Queens, New York, out of Cardozo High School. There's George. A little strong on that one. Cleveland, the weak side rebound. Turns tail, drives in, hangs, gets the bucket, and is fouled.
Crowd, we said he's improved his 3-point shooting, but the best part of his game is this part, where he takes the ball, goes.
And that same conversation I had with Cleveland last year, he said the thing that comes easiest to him is rebounding. Now his rebound numbers this year are down a bit from the last couple of years, but we saw he is quite capable.
This man-to-man for Miami has been smothering so far.
Where is this Miami team defensively?
They're improving, but they need to do a better job keeping the ball in front of them. Although it's hard to keep him in front of anybody, and now he's on offense anyway.
Omier with a double-double here in the first half. Cleveland had those feet set and buries the three.
Well, there's nothing wrong with short shorts, and there's nothing wrong with metal belt buckles. Some of us were involved in them. So
can't imagine having a metal belt buckle, but that is the way it was. And I didn't miss it by a whole heck of a lot. Omier just keeps getting it done inside the lane.
A deep, deep three right there.
Off the steal. It's another highlight dunk, this time for Bensley Joseph. Moved to Massachusetts when he was an infant. Back in South Florida, Jim Larenega's Hurricanes looking to improve their record to 9-2 on the year. Underway with the second half. Off the bounce, Poplar picks up right where he left off. Well, Dan, I love the quote from Jim Larenega about Wooga Poplar. He's a complete scorer, elite pull-up jump shooter, as you say.
Now, if you're Stonehill, I think what you're trying to, if you're Stonehill, what you're trying to do is just run some offense.
Pavlidis, sweet stroke from around the free throw line.
And so they're getting better shots, and as a result, they're shooting a better percentage.
Poplar steps out and buries another three. Give him 16 points. Poplar gets it back, lines it up, gets his own miss, and he'll have a chance for three.
It actually looked like, I mean, he took so much time that's why he missed the shot, but he knew it was off right away. If you're the Hurricanes, you don't want to shoot nothing but threes. You don't want to settle for the three.
Felder, nice looking shot. The VMI transfer from Brockton, Massachusetts. Portal, they went and got him.
But Omier missed the dunk. You won't see that too often.
Indeed you won't. My prescient partner on the call. Here with a double-double. 18 points. Here the most spectacular.
And Zagorowski hasn't really gotten going for Stonehill tonight because there's been great pressure on him.
Leading the way, Wooga Poplar, the step back three. 1 point away.
That's how you apply offensive pressure. Come down and make an uncontested three in transition.
Felder gets those three back. 2 career high, including 3 highlight reel dunks. He has been equally spectacular here today. There he is, comfortable on the low post as well. He watched Steve Nash like a hawk and took everything he could and tried to learn and apply it to his own game.
Just a buzzsaw.
With more and more talent at the highest level in college basketball and in the NBA, like R.J. Barrett, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Canadian national team is a powerhouse.
So it's the 132nd anniversary of the first basketball game at that Springfield YMCA, but it's also World Basketball Day. As part of World Basketball Day, supposedly diplomats from 30 countries got together at the Vanderbilt YMCA in New York and played pickup games. And
Tony Felder starting to heat up a bit here in the second half.
Well, we talked about Zagorowski having a hard time getting his shot off because of the defensive pressure. But Felder's a big, Felder's a strong guy.
Max Zagorowski to the bucket. There for the putback. Omier turns, faces up, now decides to put it up. Fighting for it and putting it in. A.J. Casey, 6 points off the bench. Nice drive and reverse along the baseline.
Of those shot attempts have been from behind the arc. So
Wow.
driving the ball to the basket is a rarity this evening.
Consecutive buckets at the rim. This time at the other end, it's A.J. Casey. It's NJIT.
This is a really good pass from the middle of that.
His Miami high for a single game is 17. I don't think he's going to catch his career high, which came at Arkansas State.
George has such a good-looking stroke.
And again, now that he has found his rhythm in college basketball, the last 5 games, shooting it for A.J. Casey, or rather Keyshawn George, excuse me, have been nothing short of brilliant. Here's Casey off the back iron. Omier just keeps adding to his total. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Miami up by 40.
A couple of times in the second half, Nwoko almost got that when he already has 1 block in the game. Very nearly had his second. 2 years in a row.
Drive and dish. Canes on the run again. And I'm guessing Bensley Joseph will get the assignment to try and lock up Joe Girard, make sure he doesn't get any open looks. Christian Watson gets himself on the board. And again, this is just part and parcel to what you do when you transition from Division II up to Division I, which is what Stonehill College is doing. This is year number 2 as a D1 program, up from Division II. The steal and the slam for Triplett, who's had a nice game. And so then you take bye games like this one, where you're guaranteed a certain amount of money to come. They opened the season at George Washington. They played at UConn, played at St. Joe's, played at Rupp Arena against Kentucky. And they've been blown out a number of times this year, but that's kind of the deal. Canes win it 97-59. And now they take a considerable break for the holiday.